The officer took a sleazy bite of his apple, but the prisoner pulled out a grenade and began chewing on it with exaggerated bites. Seeing the prisoner's smug expression, the officer became furious and delivered a punch straight to the man's stomach. Thinking the punch would make the prisoner behave, the officer was shocked when the man began to vomit violently. To everyone's astonishment, the prisoner pulled out a long ribbon from his mouth, which ended with a German imperial medal. The officer's expression immediately turned tense, and he demanded to know what was going on. Just then, the sound of an alarm clock suddenly rang out, startling everyone. One of the soldiers rushed to turn it off, only to discover that the clock had been pulled out from the prisoner's backside. The soldier was utterly shocked. How could his clock have ended up on the prisoner? He raised his fist, ready to strike the man. But then noticed there seemed to be no danger. All the soldiers let down their guard and burst into laughter, treating the prisoner like a clown. Little did they know, all of this was part of the prisoner's elaborate scheme. The prisoner, seeing their reaction, continued to put on a show, giving his best performance. But suddenly, he turned and made a frantic escape. The officer immediately gave orders for the soldiers to chase him down. However, when they reached the door, they saw the man running out with a wooden barrel around his waist. The soldiers' tense mood instantly relaxed, and they swarmed him, laughing and playing around as if it were a game. But the moment the barrel hit the ground, something bizarre happened. The prisoner vanished into thin air. Panicked, the soldiers searched the area frantically, but couldn't find him anywhere. Suddenly, the sound of a cat meowing came from nearby, drawing their attention. When they looked over, they realized it was yet another joke by the prisoner. Once again, they let their guard down, laughing and discussing what kind of magic trick he had pulled. But the officer grew increasingly uneasy, realizing that the prisoner's antics were beyond anything a normal person could do. Without hesitation, the officer turned to the hostage and used her as leverage, threatening the prisoner to surrender. Seeing the girl's tragic situation, the prisoner immediately agreed to give himself up. But in the next moment, the officer froze on the spot. Stunned by the prisoner's unexpected action, all the soldiers swarmed the prisoner, assuming he was now defenseless. Just when they thought the prisoner had been neutralized, they turned to find that the bound girl had disappeared. The officer quickly became alert and shouted orders, but it was too late. Bullets suddenly rained down in a frenzy, killing all the German soldiers. The lone surviving soldier stood in shock, staring at the corpses around him. Though he felt a small sense of relief for surviving, something even more terrifying happened. The prisoner, who was thought to be dead, slowly stood up. He calmly raised his arm, and in the next moment, a bullet was fired.